Welcome to Irwindale and the Stars Figure 8 series. We brought them to you last Friday. Now we're here on Thursday. This is where we are going to be from now on. Tony Trapasso up in the booth, joined with me by my partner in crime, the producer extraordinaire, Mr. Kevin Cunyo. And Kevin, we saw a hell of a race last week with a mixed class. This week, we're just going to have the MX-5s on track. So,
yeah,
looks
and
interesting.
it looks like it's going to be fun. I think maybe a little more even, having all the same vehicle. And if I remember correctly, you said they're going to possibly be switching from week to week.
They are. They're going to be. Let me see if I can pull up, and I can't right this second because I don't have the. Maybe I do. Do I? There we go. So the tentative schedule is going to be Jetta's MX-5s this week, then Jetta's next week, back to the MX-5. Then they're doing a mixed class on October 1st, where it's going to be the first test race for the super stock division, which is going to use the street stock and the late model. Not the super late model, the regular late model, pavement. Then they're back to the Jetta, and then it's Miss Layla Wilson's birthday weekend, and we're doing some special stuff on the 15th. But definitely stay tuned here. A lot of action yet to come. Pretty decent sized field, especially for a week 14, 13, whatever you want to refer to it as. And I would like to remind everybody, don't forget to like, favorite, subscribe, hit the bell notifications for all of our broadcasts to be notified when we're going to go live. And also, if you're on, I believe I put it in both streams, you can find the link to our Twitter feed and our the link to our Twitter feed and our Facebook, of course, and the link to our Teespring store. And I'm looking at the Teespring store right now, Kevin, and T-shirts, hoodies, lightweight sweatshirts, face masks, coffee mugs, decals for your computer.
And we have that not just with the ESPN logos, but with each of your favorite leagues, right?
Yes. As a matter, the one we haven't put on yet is the Stars Figure 8 League, because we did just pick them up. And Sam added something that I'd been plugging for a while. He finally put it on there. There is a throw pillow for your couch with the ESPN logo.
Excellent.
But yeah, you can get your favorite league. I'm looking at one of the ones right now. It says, league presented by ESPN or as seen on ESPN. We've got those for all your favorite leagues, so you can support your favorite league. You can support ESPN, and that's how we help bring these videos to you. But qualifying, getting ready to get underway here, is they're doing a 15-minute practice session. About a minute left in that one, and then they're doing 3 laps of solo qualifying. So that's gonna get interesting to try to follow as far as being able to follow the cars. Yes, they did add the new damage model to the MX-5. The other thing, if you look on your screen right now, ladies and gentlemen, yes, those are headlights. We are going to be racing under the lights here at Irwindale. And that's when it gets interesting, is when you see the headlights coming and you can't stop in time.
That's right.
It's a first you say it, then you do it kind of moment, if you catch my drift. But Mike Maine going quick time only one to go sub 22 second in the hot lap session. And why did it just go back to sunset?
Looks like we're doing our
That's
qualifying
odd.
at sunset.
Okay.
Patrick Spangler is
So
out.
Patrick Spangler going to be the first one to bring it out in the fighter pilot looking number 3. So, and Mike Maine starting a hot lap now. Layla Wilson just coming out on track to start a flyer. And the way that the pits are set up here, as soon as you come out of the pits, you come down the first straightaway that leads to the start finish line. So as soon as you're out of the pits, you're on a flyer. There is no warm up lap. You're there. Here you go. Good luck.
Yeah, we'll see that in one of the farther away shots. Layla's already taken the lead as Paul Crumry's taken second and Patrick Spangler's for third.
Patrick Spangler just jumped up with the first sub 23 second lap in qualifying with a 22.985. So that's an impressive lap. Right there about where he was practicing. So look for some of these hot shoes to pick their pace up a little bit. Wilson calling it a night, going pit side, and Spangler just turning laps. Mark Buskey going 5th quick. And Tyler Vickery trying to log into the session, not here yet. Hopefully he makes it in time. That'll leave us with 7 cars. 6 have taken time so far. As Mike Maine goes 22.3.
Impressive.
Finishes his qualifying session and tries to go to the launch zone. And see, that's the thing that I kind of wish that they'd let you do with the new damage model, because something we talked about last week, where if you go into that alcove where outer oval turn 1 kind of starts, leads you to the pit area of the facility. And it used to be that as soon as you got past the tires, there was a dip. As you'd go into that dip, if you could time it just right, slam on the brake, stop the car, and have it go up on its nose, you'd launch the car up into the air. I want to see what happens with the new damage model in doing that.
Yeah, that would be fun.
But they won't let us, as 2 minutes left here in the qualifying session. As still waiting on some last-minute stragglers to show up. So yeah, it's gonna be a fun night tonight. All the field is relatively close. I mean, you got less than a second separates first from last, and throw a blanket over your top 5 because they're less than half a second apart.
Oh yeah, it could go anyway.
You got the alien in the 97 by the name of Mike Maine, who can drift just about any car in this game. I've seen him do it. And then from Buskey, you got at a 22.7, Pat Spangler 22.7, Paul Crumry 23.0, Layla Wilson 23.0, and Joe Cowan 23.3. So.
And there we have them right now up on the grid on the screen for you to see.
So about 30 seconds left, and the sun is starting to go down. Not quite sure if we are going to have heats or not. As now would be a good time to visit our Teespring store. You can find the link in the video description below. As
Should be
getting ready to
just.
fire this one off.
Yep.
Well, heat race, anyways. And it looks like no, they are not doing split heats here. So starting up on the pole for the heat. Now, mind you, finishing order of the heat race determines how you start in the feature. So as of right now, Mike Maine up on pole, Mark Buskey starting next to him. And they're pacing this one. Okay, that's new.
That's the.
And why?
That's quite the paint scheme on Maine's car there, eh?
Yeah, a little bit.
Quite psychedelic.
And I'm trying to figure out who just hand grenaded an engine, or is that tire smoke? That's not easy to do in a Miata. As the field's starting to roll off under pacing, Mike Maine, Mark Buskey going to bring him to the green. Pat Spangler and Paul Crumry going to start in row number 2. Row 3 is going to see Layla Wilson and Joe Cowan, two of the, if you pardon the phrase, old guard here in the Stars Racing League. Raced with the two of them for the better part of the last 6 years. And field working its way, I think. Yep, pace car's off, and I don't think we're live yet.
We're not.
So they're going to pace around one more time, which I'm glad iRacing changed that, because it used to be you used to have to drive through the pace car.
Oh, really?
So yeah. So Mike Maine in control. Mark Buskey gonna be starting right next to him as the field works its way out of turn. We'll call that turn 4 that they're working out of right now. And Maine pulls the trigger. We are green, and that's Pat Spangler getting a great jump side by side with Buskey as they haul it off into turn number 1. Coming out of the tight, it's the decreasing radius, turns 1 and 2. It really tightens up when you go to turn 2, so you kind of have to take a weird angle into 1 to get a good drive off. As Maine showing the way right now. So it's Maine, Spangler, Buskey, Crumry, Wilson, and Cowan. And we are going to go 8 laps for this one as they are working lap 3 right now. And Buskey, all sorts of trouble coming through the intersection. Got it all wrong, as he's way off the pace now. It's going to put him back in the pack as we are closing in on the halfway point. Maine still in control.
Layla Wilson with the fastest lap. Sorry for cutting in.
Yeah, no problem. So Layla Wilson in the Dad's Root Beer scheme tonight. Rocking new colors on that one as she goes side by side with Paul Crumry. Had to do it, Paul. I had to do it. So that puts Wilson up into third. Crumry with a cone caught under his car. That's probably going to affect his straight line speed a little bit. And the thing is, when you collect a cone, they've changed the way that it sounds. And I rode on board with Mike Maine earlier. Business starting to pick up. I think that was Cowan. No, that's Vickery. Finally out on track. 5 laps down. But better late than pregnant, Tyler. And why do I'm still not showing his paint scheme. But the new sound is coming through the intersection. That was a little pucker moment. But yeah, the sound that you make, the car makes when you hit the cones now, it's amazing. It sounds so real. Like, it used to just be a thunk. Now it sounds like you tagged a cone on the highway. As I believe that's Maine coming to the checkers, and yep, McMaine coming home with the victory. Pat Spangler hanging on for second. Layla Wilson third. Battle for fourth. Gives it to Paul Crumry. Mark Buskey right on his back bumper. And Joe Cowan just annihilates Buskey going into the pits. Now, that is a sign of friendship here in this league. After the race is over, you annihilate people just for shits and giggles. So we're getting ready to fire off the feature here. 30 laps, the scheduled distance. And this one is going to end up under the lights as we are currently working at 8 times the sun. As you see, the sun already starting to set over turn 1. Mike Maine going to lead us to the green again, this time with Pat Spangler on his right side. Layla Wilson is going to be starting next to Paul Crumry this time. Mark Buskey got shuffled back to row 3 with Joe Cowan, and Tyler Vickery going to be starting shotgun on the field. So 7 drivers set for 30 laps here at Irwindale. So, and new pace car for iRacing, or new to me anyways, is I have not seen the Porsche painted like that before. As
well, you wanted to see Tyler. There's Tyler's new paint scheme. But Tyler's actually just parked it. That's
it
odd.
looks like he has, and I don't know why. Oh, he oopsed and went to the pits. He's going to be pit starting, as Maine has already collected a couple of
cones.
Yeah.
He shook them off there.
So the pace car is in. And yeah, Vickery going to be pit starting this one. So field works its way through the right-hander and onto the final straightaway, and coming out of the final corner, green flag's out, and we are underway. Maine not getting the jump he was hoping for this time. He's got Wilson right on his back bumper. She throws it to the inside as they headed into turn number 2. Maine swings wide and throw a blanket over everybody right now. That's Maine up front, Wilson in second, Spangler in third. As did I say that right? Yes, I did. Just wanted to make sure. As get it sorted out. It's Crumry all over the back bumper of Spangler right now, and as Vickery finally gets released from the pits. So,
Layla keeping right with Mike Maine.
Oh yeah, and that's normal. I've raced with those two long enough to know that what you're seeing right now is normal. The two of them just in lockstep. Pat Spangler, I've not seen drive before, so it looks like he's no slouch himself. And we all saw Paul Crumry put it on the podium last week, so don't count out the open wheel specialist, who had a heartbreaker last night in the money race at Pocono. Brought the MX-5 all the way out here to California tonight to hope to improve his luck. As Maine starting to stretch his legs now. As Wilson under attack from Spangler, he throws it to the inside, coming through the back part of the right-hander, and they've already got trouble going through the intersection as Vickery and Maine almost got together. Spangler still on the inside of Wilson, working through the left-hander, and Maine, oh! Spangler eats it too. So Maine, Spangler, and Vickery all just ate hot garbage. And the good news is
that was all Vickery.
Yes, it was definitely Vickery. Not watching his where he was going, and waiting to see if the other two cars. Looks like Spangler's going to try to limp it back to the pits. I believe Mike Maine has already done so. No, Mike is. Mike's still out on track.
Yep. And Layla's in the wall.
Layla tagged the wall a little bit, but Maine's only lost a little bit of speed in that car. That's amazing. Just
amazing considering how much bumper he's lost.
Oh, yeah. I mean, just how wadded that as Joe Cowan goes for a spin. He got into it with Maine and Busky coming through the back part of the right-hander. As or no, that was Crumry. I apologize. Busky leading this thing right now. As Wilson may have missed on the suspension setup. Now these cars, you can tune the shocks on them. Not much, but there's more adjustability in this car than there is in the Jetta. So Busky showing the way.
Like
at the stripe, it was Maine. Yeah, Maine just rolled over his bumper as Spangler. What did Spangler hit?
Oh, Layla just went flying off track.
Let's see that one again.
And then comes back on. There she goes. She got hit quite wildly. Goes off into the cones. Comes back right into the middle of the intersection to collect. Was that Mike Maine?
No,
that was
Spangler. Spangler and Crumry. So a lot of beating and banging going on. A lot of these guys guys and gals, haven't driven the Mazda a lot on this track. I'm going back to see what happened, and it looks like it started with. Okay, there was a hip check from Crumry. That's what started that whole mess with Layla. Yeah. But I'm going back to see what happened to Pat Spangler.
So the fight now is between Layla and Spangler. Everybody,
Layla Spangler, and that's Crumry in front of them. So, and now Vickery is 3 laps down.
Mike Maine's caught up with Mark Busky. That's incredible that Mike Maine has survived all that and is still that close to the lead.
Yeah, that's absolutely amazing.
He just sent it into the back of Mark Busky, which allowed him to overtake. Incredible bump and run.
And Spangler has put it on the hauler as Maine back to the point, Busky in second. Crumry holds down third, but he's got a very angry Layla Wilson right behind him. And those are your last, your only 4 cars on the lead lap. Tyler Vickery and Joe Cowan 2 laps down apiece as Maine got it all wrong coming through the left-hander. That allowed Busky to get to his door, and they're coming up on cross traffic.
Whoa, that was close.
Busky full send-it mode. Did not care that he almost clipped Paul Crumry.
Once again, they narrowly avoided catastrophe, those 2 pair.
I don't know if my blood pressure could handle trying to drive this right now because they are just threading the needle. And, these guys just slugging it out for first. But Wilson and Crumry still side by side for third, as Wilson on the inside, Crumry on the high side, working through the right-hander. And Wilson with a slight advantage coming up on cross traffic. And looks like Mike Maine having trouble now. That car might start overheating because of the front end damage that he's already taken, as Busky has inched out a 2.5 second lead on him already. So the battle right now is for your final step of the podium between Wilson and Crumry, as we are just past halfway. 30 laps of scheduled distance. We are working lap 20 right now. So it's Busky, Maine, Wilson, Crumry, and what just happened to Paul Crumry? Just completely lost power there coming out of the backside of the left-hander.
Yeah.
And that let Wilson get by as Mike Maine is just flirting with disaster right now, and I think it's 0 F's given for the driver out of Rochester, New York, as he's just sending it through the intersection with just zero cares, and he angrily stomping on that throttle pedal, and that car is not liking it at all.
Layla seems to have a solid handle on third at the moment, although Paul Crumry is coming up behind with one lap car in between.
That would be the lap car Tyler Vickery in the 124, as
a lot of folks got to be.
They are trying to make this happen as best they can.
Oh, Tyler Vickery getting right up behind Layla. Surprisingly, still in decent shape after causing that the start of the main run of crashes that we had.
He went to the pits and burned a fast repair.
I see.
So they do have, because this is a non-points race, they gave them unlimited fast repairs. During the regular season, I believe they're only going to get 1 or 2.
Well, in that case, he just managed to unlap himself.
Not yet.
Oh, you're right. Yep. He's still
Layla's not leading. Mark Busk.
That's right.
Yeah, Mark Buskey's the one leading this thing. As Mike Maine's starting to chip away at his lead, but that battling with Vickery has let Wilson fall back into the clutches of Paul Crumry. As Crumry right on her back bumper, she throws it to the inside of Joe Cowan right now. And business is starting to pick up in the intersection as we are working lap 26 of 30. So Crumry with a last-ditch attempt here. We haven't seen the last of what's going on in the crossover as Vickery just... I think he's in 0 F's given mode too. As the leaders just took 3 to go. So all Buskey's got to do is survive 2 more laps as Popsicle Stick's getting ready to come out for Mark Buskey. Your battle right now, though, is for that 3rd position as Crumry and Wilson side by side. Crumry a little bit sideways coming out of the left-hander, real sideways, and gets tagged coming through the right-hander. That's pretty much basically that hands the podium to Wilson. As white flag coming out this time by, Mike Maine's going to have just under a quarter of a mile to, or just over a quarter of a mile to try to get by Mark Buskey. Got to hope Buskey gets into trouble coming through the intersection one final time out of the final corner. And it's academic. Give it to Mark Buskey. Mike Maine hanging on for second. Layla Wilson still under pressure right now. But luckily for her, those are 2 lap cars around her. And
so as long as she can
both of them
are.
You mean like Tyler Vickery just did?
And she threads all of that.
Tyler Vickery just got annihilated. I'm thinking that's everybody's. Now here's the thing. This is the roadkill way. I've run with these guys.
Check this out. They're running in line now.
No, they're doing the
Mark Buskey is getting rear-ended repeatedly by Mike Maine just for fun as they go around.
That's because he blew his engine because he hit Tyler Vickery just bombed him.
They're doing all sorts of shenanigans.
Yeah. So let's see if we can.
Oh, and Tyler just took out. Mark Buskey was sitting there for our photo op, and Tyler decided to take him out.
Whoops, I hit the wrong button. Sorry about that.
So, wait, are we going to bring Mark in here for a little chat, or?
I'm working on it as we speak.
He's just getting all sorts of damage out there.
Well, that's what you get for winning a race, especially during week 13. So we are going to reach out to still teething pains with a new league. So bear with us, folks. We're just trying to get everybody in the interview room right now.
That's okay. We still have plenty of shenanigans. Oh, it just ended. Tyler Vickery and Patrick Spangler were locked in a bumper arm lock, and we're going around, spinning around, burning rubber.
Oh, yeah.
So you can really see the new damage model at play here, folks.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And it's something I definitely need to talk to Layla about when we're done with the broadcast tonight. But Mark Lasky coming home with the victory. We're just waiting on him to come down to the booth. Mike Maine hanging on for second.
Layla Wilson in third. Paul Crumry in fourth. Joe Cowan in fifth.
Be right back.
And our late entry, Tyler Lugo Vickery, actually managing to get sixth, leaving Patrick Spangler at the bottom of our list.
So joining us now is the lovely young lady who finished in third place. That, of course, is the ever-talented Miss Layla Wilson, driving the brand-new Dad's Root Beer number 98 tonight. Layla,
not so new anymore.
That was carnage.
Yeah. So we were using tonight to see if this would be a worthwhile car to use for some of the Stinger races this season. I would say the answer is a resounding no. We're probably going to stick with the Jetta for that, and this definitely showed us why. This car is very, very out of control, and in the interest of trying to make as clean as possible racing, we'll definitely be sticking with the Jetta for the season. But it was fun getting bounced around, and I misjudged a lot of things in that race. I made a lot of poor decisions, and it bit me.
You're not the only one that made poor decisions in that race, as we're going to move on to our second place finisher, Mike Maine, who, while leading, ate hot garbage coming through the intersection. And Mike, let's face it, that basically ended your good chance at winning.
No, that's just racing sometimes right there, man.
Mike.
Sometimes you win.
On a scale of 1 to Jim Leahy, how drunk are you right now?
Oh, man, we're getting cranking up out here.
Only on stars, folks. Only on stars.
Yeah, that was quite great, Mike. Kevin, can you hear when Tyler Lugo came out of nowhere and interrupted your run? It surprised all of us.
We had a good run there, man. And then they just slowed down there. And then we got into it there.
I'm wrecking you next week.
I want to wreck him right now, so excuse me while I start wheeling my wheelchair to Rochester. But moving on, we're going to talk to our first place finisher, Mark Lasky. Mark, you didn't put a wheel wrong all night.
No, but somebody put a wheel wrong to me, and that would be Mr. Maine.
Yes, actually, I did see that. That was the bump and run. Are you referring to that?
If you want to call it a bump and run,
yeah,
that's fine. I call it. I had to save it, so he's teaching me skills that I need to learn anyways.
I believe the phrase you're looking for is he didn't slam into you, he didn't bump you, he didn't nudge you, he rubbed you, and rubbing son is racing. But
I am definitely out. That wasn't rubbing.
That wasn't rubbing. No, that was a good on. That was a good on. Yeah.
That was Mike Maine's best impression of Dale Earnhardt Sr. I didn't mean to wreck him. But
It's
getting
all
back
good.
to,
Always having fun.
but Mark coming home with the victory. Granted, it is non-points night tonight, but you got to be happy moving into the upcoming season.
Yeah, it was fun, and like I said, we always enjoy these. Like Layla said, the Mazdas were a last-minute addition, and it kind of threw me for a loop. But luckily, the Whammo sponsor was there for the picking, and that's why we decided to take it out. And you said we didn't make too bad of moves. There was a couple with the new damage model and the new sounds, and running over the cones. That kind of made it a little interesting.
Absolutely is. Now, Layla, you had a hell of a battle there for third with Paul Crumrine.
Yes.
That was fun to watch from up here.
Oh, that was great. I was hoping that he'd be able to hold on to it when it really turned left on him out of the left-hander, which ironically is not when you want to turn left. And I didn't see him after that for a while, but he was quick. And I knew it was another case of I don't think that I would have gotten that position under normal circumstances, kind of like last week in the Jettas. Like, I knew he was coming, I knew he was there, and I was playing defensive. But when it got really fun is when we caught Joe. Yeah, that was so fun. I'm like, I almost like this car. I'm like, nah, no, this car sucks.
Well, no, for those not familiar with it, I mean, yes, it's got the new tire model, it's got the new damage model, and the MX-5 is actually one of the rookie cars for the road racing side of things in iRacing. So it's kind of meant to turn right and left, but I mean, let's face it, it's not meant to turn right and left in the manner in which you guys were doing it tonight.
No, it was not.
My personal opinion of the MX-5 is it's a car that wants to wreck you. That's all it does.
Yes.
It's just a car that wants to wreck. And so
so I'm not the only one that was thinking that during my rookie season.
No, not at all. I was actually I giggled when they released the damage model for it because I was like, that's the car you should have first released the damage model for because that's all it does. You know.
Well, no, because they did do it right, and they put it on the Skippy first because the Skippy tries to kill you too.
Yes. Yeah.
That's fair. That is fair. Now there's an idea. No, I won't do it.
No, don't do that. Don't do that.
No. Wait.
No.
Tomorrow night.
Maybe
tomorrow night during
during
challenge mode.
I might.
Now, where do people need to go if they want to join the short track auto racing series?
You want to go to Stars Short Track Auto Racing Series. That's our league. And we run the 87 cars on Monday nights. This is our Thursday night show with figure eights. Tonight in particular, we're going to be running an extra figure eight race. So if you join really fast, you might get into that one.
Oh, okay. Well, Kevin, are you busy?
I might be.
Sorry, I missed that.
Sorry, I might be up for it. I'm not sure.
Well, it's going to be testing out the super stocks to see if they're worth it.
Oh, nice.
So it'll be a test race then.
Mm-hmm.
In the league or open hosted?
League. Just because I don't want it to get too stupid, and I know the folks here can handle that pretty well.
Define too stupid, because I've seen some of the stuff you do on Friday nights.
Well, at least we're trying to race, I think that a lot of the randoms who come in, maybe not so much.
And I think that's an important, message that you always get out every week, and I appreciate it because it is different when you do, the figure eight. Like it's one thing to have the crashes, but it's another thing to actually be trying to race and do a proper race that way, and you do that very well. So that's a good reminder.
Absolutely, and thank you for reminding me to bring that up too, Kevin. Yeah, because every figure eight race you go into always turns into I'm going to wreck everybody. No, you're not, and there's no need for it because we're trying to race here.
Yeah, exactly.
But, so yeah, every Thursday night here on ESPN 9:10 Eastern time, you can find the Stars Figure Eight series, and I'm glad that we were able to become your virtual home to bring it to the masses, Layla.
Thank you so much for joining us for this. It's really nice to actually get this out there and maybe generate a little more interest in figure eight racing, and maybe get iRacing to scan a couple more tracks. Maybe that'd be nice.
That would be great.
You mean
Email
like
your
the
targets.
like the Indianapolis Speedrome?
Yeah, or just give us the figure eight at Nashville, or give us the figure eight at the Bull Ring, or any of the other tracks that they scanned that have figure eights that they didn't give us. I'm a little bit testy about that, because I feel that if people got to run a few more figure eight tracks and got to try actual figure eight cars, I think that they would really enjoy this form of racing.
And yeah, that's something that iRacing does need to get figured out, because they consider, oh no, that's a niche race. No, it's not. Have you seen the crowds that show up to the figure eight world championships?
Oh yeah.
They
Yeah.
sell out every year. And there's the 3-hour enduro figure eight at oh shoot, why am I drawing a blank? Anderson.
Yeah, and there's the one in Showtime Speedway. There's the Evergreen Cup at Evergreen Speedway. There's the West Coast Championship at Orange Show. I mean, it's
Yep.
not exactly a niche type of racing, but then again, people were saying that dirt racing was before iRacing gave us that. So, from an optimistic point of view, maybe it would be very nice if we could get more attention to figure eight racing and clean figure eight racing, and kind of see if we can make something happen.
I
Well,
agree.
I'm glad that ESPN is the home now for clean figure eight racing, and we're looking forward to bringing the entire season to the masses. As I was kind of letting Kevin and the folks in on the tentative schedule that you shared with me earlier, I'm excited about the entire
I'm
season.
glad. Yeah, we're going to
Especially
try
the week of the 15th.
Yes, that's going to be where we try out improvised figure eight layouts to see if it's even worth it to do that, because iRacing won't give us more, so we're going to have to make our own. I found a couple.
the dirt at Vegas.
Yes, we can go back to the dirt at Vegas. So, yeah, we can do that night. How about that?
Sounds like a game plan. So, when is the street stock session going up?
It should be up nowish. We'll see
Well
if
then.
it actually went or not. Survey says that I forget how to check leagues on the new UI. That's what it says.
And it is up. So, Kevin, I'm going to leave it up to you. Do we want to do another one,
Oh, another broadcast. I
or do you want to drive?
yeah, I was thinking about driving, but to be honest,
Well,
Then that's gonna do it for us here tonight. For Miss Layla Wilson, for Kevin Conyu, this is Tony Trapasso saying